Hey, how's it going, people? My name's Big Minnie. This here is a little commentary. We're starting off this gameplay here using UMP-45, playing some domination here on Silk Road, just to start us off. And just using something a little bit different. Not really used too many PDWs as of late, so I was like, you know what, I want to actually see if I can unlock some more and see how decent these things actually are. And the UMP-45 never really seems to let me down. It's a nice little gun. It does exactly what it says on the tin and drops some motherfuckers pretty damn quickly. So I enjoy it, and yeah, that's why I picked it. There you go. One thing I want to touch on before we get into what we're really talking about in today's video here is, well, PDWs in general. I feel that the way that they're sort of used in Battlefield 4, they're really misused in the way that they're only limited to the engineer class as their sort of primary weapons. They're, you know, they're class specific is what I'm trying to say, and only as an engineer can you actually use a PDW. And I feel that this shouldn't really be the case. I think that carbines should be the weapons that engineers have as a class specific weapon type. I think those are more suited for the role, because if you think about it, when you play as an engineer, chances are it's going to be big open maps with vehicles and all sorts of shit, so you're usually just going to use a carbine anyway, because PDWs do not perform well at range. That's kind of the point in them. They're good at close range, they're not so good at long range or medium range. So in the scenario that you would want an engineer class, you wouldn't necessarily want a PDW. And I feel that it just basically destroys the whole sort of PDW weapon type, because you're not going to use them on any game mode, really. I mean, when it comes to playing domination in TDM, you're really just better off playing as assault. I know I'm playing as NG just here, just simply down to the fact that I wanted to use this gun, and that was the only reason for picking this class. And it's not ideal because, of course, the assault class is so much better suited for this game type, because you can revive people, heal yourself, and etc, etc. And I'm running around with M2 slams and an RPG that are just completely useless. So I definitely feel like PDW should have been the sort of all-class weapon, and carbines should have been the class-specific weapon choice for the engineer class. I want to, you know your guys' opinion down in the comment section down below. Leave a comment down there. What's your thoughts on this? I feel that this would be a far better way to balance out those weapon types, because the PDWs are fun to use. They're really good at close range. It's just that they don't really have a place in the game at the moment, because you're not going to want a close range weapon when you want to play engineer on a massive map. For example, Caspian Border or something. They just don't suit the map. It's just a complete waste of time. You may as well just bring a carbine. Now, on to what we're actually talking about in this video just here. DICE released some patch notes for an upcoming update that's coming to this game, about the 50 millionth update for Battlefield 4 since it's released. But this one's a pretty significant update, and I'm not going to talk about everything they changed, because this video would be about 45 minutes long if that was the case, because there's a lot of shit they are changing. They're balancing out a whole lot of different guns, you know, little tweaks here and there, like increases and decreases and the length of time it takes to fire your gun or whatever. For example, the revolver is getting a sort of speed increase, so it's not quite as long as what it is before. My understanding is this update is already out on console. So if you play on the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, or I don't know if it's out for the last gen consoles, but as far as I'm aware, consoles have this shit. But PC, we're still waiting on it. I'm not entirely sure when it is they're rolling that one out. But one of the main changes that I'm very happy with is the fact that they are nerfing, to a certain extent, the V40 minis. Thank God. There was no reason to use any other grenade in this game, really, because, I mean, you get 3 of the V40 minis, and they've done pretty much just as much damage as any other grenade that you were going to have anyway. So they've actually reduced it, not like massively. They said they've reduced it from 80 to 60, or whatever the fuck that means, I don't know. But yeah, this is good. And hopefully this just leads to less people just spamming minis everywhere, because honestly, there was no point in using anything else. This was a nice little kill streak just here, actually. And they were all just spawning right in front of me, like right there, man. I was like, holy shit, just backed up, and I almost cleared out them all, basically, there. And unfortunately, that guy just got the last bullet in just there. If I hit him one more time, I would have killed the guy. And these games just here are actually a lot of fun to play. I felt like I had to really alter my playstyle when playing this, because you can't just go all gung-ho and just charge around like I would normally do. Especially with the whole netcode thing. I mean, you don't even know you're getting shot at and then you're dead. So, I mean, it doesn't really give you much chance to actually react to things. And hopefully that is something that will sort of be resolved, if not with this update, with one coming soon after. I'm pretty sure they will resolve it as best as they possibly can. I'm hoping the problems with the whole netcode issue is something that's not too deeply embedded into the engine, and hopefully it can be rectified. But we're just gonna have to wait and see if that's the case, because I mean, sometimes these things, honestly, it's just too built into the engine to the point where you can't change it without breaking everything, and that is something that you see quite a lot with updates that they roll out for this game. They'll fix like 2 things and break 10. It happens. Apparently, I know nothing about game coding or anything like that, but apparently that's just what happens. Or maybe it's just bad coding, I don't know. But in terms of any balance tweaks or any of that sort of stuff, you guys can just check out everything for yourself. There should be a link down in the description, provided I remember to put it in there. And you can check that out and see for yourself exactly what it is they are changing. There's quite a few interesting changes here and there. Like they're kind of buffing the DMRs slightly. And I really think that they're trying to push these DMRs on people, like, people, use this, please. And every time they buff them, still no one uses them. I don't know. They can be fun sometimes to use, the old DMRs, but overall, in the state that the game's in with the sort of netcode and stuff, DMRs aren't exactly the best choice, because you can, you know, if a guy gets the drop on you, just that second that he's got the drop on you with the whole lag issue, he can just drop you with his fully automatic weapon, and there's not really much you can do with a DMR. I mean, even sometimes you can shoot them square right in the face and they just don't give a shit, and then they just drop you with a shot to the leg. Just what happens. So that's the end of the video just here. I want to thank you guys, every single one of you, for last month. Like I was saying to you throughout the month, we were on track to having our most successful month ever on the channel, and it turned out to be the case. We got more people in than we've ever done before. More people currently viewing videos and all the rest of it, and it's awesome to just you guys sticking around here and just listening to the random shit that comes out of my mouth. So again, I'd like to thank you guys very deeply, and hopefully we can keep the momentum going and make this month even better, because we've got like an extra 3 days this month. Oh my god, let's make them count. So if you're a recurring viewer on here, then don't forget to leave a like on the video to support the channel. But coming towards the end of this video here, I'd like to say this map actually is pretty good for domination. I mean, I've never actually played this one before. We moved on here, I think it was Dragon Pass. And it's not a map I've actually played that much. I mean, I wasn't really a huge fan of China Rising when it did come out. So, I mean, this map I generally did kind of avoid. I mean, I started playing China Rising as soon as it came out. I tried a few maps out and I was like, I just don't like this at all. It just reminded me way too much of Armored Kill and Battlefield 3, which I just hated. So, I didn't really give all the maps a chance in all of the game modes. But I hop back in this one here today because the map actually just rotated to it, and I was like, oh, okay, let's just try this shit out. And it actually is a pretty fun one. I was on a nice little roll just there again, and then I just get killed by a random grenade launcher out of fucking nowhere. So I just thought, okay, if that's the game we're going to be playing, these guys were just sitting right next to each other in the middle of the street. I don't even know what they were doing. So I was just like, oh, well, I have this RPG, may as well put it to use, and actually just smack both of them. Got myself a nice little double kill, which is not too bad. But, leaving thoughts, this weapon's actually pretty fucking good. Up close, this thing absolutely dominates. If you can just get the jump on your enemy, you will drop them much quicker than they can drop you, even with a much higher fire rate weapon. So I definitely recommend you guys to use the UMP45. But I hope you guys did enjoy. We've done okay, we went 34 for 13. If you did enjoy, hit that like button down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.